Okay, so I actually forgot to turn on my mic, set my mic to be activated here for the first part of this video, so I'm kind of going back over the video with my voice and narrating it. So kind of trying to remember what I was saying here. This is a Jetway I'm working on. It's the updated version for my Spokane terminal project. So it's not the same one that we were working in the video. It's more or less the same type. And all the same concepts and stuff, and so since I need to get this one done, I'm going to use this one to show you how to texture jetways. I exported the model as a collada from Sketchup. Now I'm opening up Model Converter X, trying to catch up here. Okay, so open up Model Converter X here. I'm going to import, going to just say import the collada file. I named it something. Test 2, there it that one. Okay, so it takes a couple seconds to load it into SketchUp. Not SketchUp, Model Converter X. Okay, so there it is. Obviously, at the time I had exported this, I hadn't mapped any of those pieces yet to it, so this is all pretty much plain except for the sides of the jetway there. I'm going to export this as a 3DS file, and pretty simple. I already had one saved, so I'm not going to overwrite it. And then I imported the Gmax. I already have it imported here, but I'll just go to File, Import, and navigate to that 3DS file. Then just say like merge with current scene or completely replace. It doesn't really matter too much. And so you have your jetway model. Now the thing you'll notice is that when you select different objects, they're not separate. You see all those boxes are the same. Those are all kind of interconnected, and so it makes things kind of difficult. You basically you decide you need a way to break apart those objects. But so basically, you select the one object. In this case, it's kind of the front and forward parts of the jetway, apparently. Okay, and then I'm going to right-click here pretty quick, I think. Right-click and convert to an editable mesh. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what I was doing here, so just bear with me here on this part of the video. I was trying to select from polygon by polygon with editable mesh activated, but we realized that I didn't want to do that because you actually go to the modifier list here, which I'll do in a second. The modifier list, say mesh select under the selection modifiers, okay, and then select by polygon or whatever you want, polygon or face. I'm selecting the step. And you know what? I'll stop it right here because I made a mistake in the video. I'm also just cut it out and save you guys some time. Okay, so that saves a little bit of time for you guys. Kind of backtracking here because I decided I want to do something a little different or a little more precise. So this time I'm in editable mesh. I'm selecting by polygon. I'm selecting all the staircase, and I press the detach button under edit geometry after that. And so we have a different object that's kind of detached from the rest of it. And so that's how you kind of detach things from those larger objects. And then we select that. Make sure the polygon select is deactivated so you can select that object there. And so I just moved our step out here. Now I can select it independently. Now we go select that, mesh select, select by polygon, or whatever you want to do there, and then say UVW map, set the length, width, and of course set the mapping to box, set length, width, and height to 3. Go to modifiers, unwrap UVW, edit. So then you have these shapes here. that right there is the top of the step, and so you select them, move it somewhere in the map there, and then we have these center ones, which I'll find out in a second are kind of sides of the step. Okay, so I'm just kind of positioning these. The position doesn't matter too much, since we're actually not going to be mapping in Gmax. I'm just getting some of the dimensions kind of from Gmax here to assist in creating our map for Sketchup. Alright, so we kind of UV map, to quote UV map that step. I was thinking about doing this side, but I know right now already that I did something else, so let's kind of just watch it here and see where I'm going with this. Okay, so now I got my mic working, or on. Got the mute button knob so I can actually record during the video this time. Okay, shouldn't affect things too much. So, let's do another selection here. I'm not sure we want to do that. Let's move on to something else. Let's do something a little different. You can see here I detached this right here, and I detached this just like we did before with the trying to think what I was trying to say here. Just with the mesh, editable mesh, I selected what I wanted to detach, then just press the detach like I did there with the step. So let's see here. I want to do some cylinder here. So like for this right here, this cylinder, this is a good idea. Let's do this. What we can do for this, there's a couple ways you could go about this, but I think the best way, especially since we're going to be ending up with this in Sketchup, is to do an editable mesh. Okay, mesh select. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just select one face. We'll go to UVW map. I think we can keep it in planar this time, but we're going to set the length and width to 3, and I want to make sure it's on the X alignment. Let's see if this works. Unwrap now. Okay, so there's our face. So we have that, and I think I did that wrong. No, I didn't do it wrong. I just there's a different map, so that's good. We can leave that. Let's see. I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but I'll do it right now. So you have your map here. Let's go ahead and, if you have Windows, so you can just use a snipping tool here. Capture that, and I'm going to save it in my folder here. Oh, whoops, I don't want to do that. Sorry guys, I hit the wrong button. Okay. So that looks good. Hopefully I'm still recording here. Okay, hopefully this is still working, recording wise. Okay, I think we are. Okay, so I got a, kind of a map for that little piece there. Wasn't much, but one thing you can do, let me show you this. So you can leave it like this. Then you can do another mesh select. Let's see, I want to definitely get a piece going for this. So if we select all of these here, careful, try to not select anything that we don't want. Sometimes it helps to go to a view like this, kind of see what you got. Okay, so it looks like we have most of everything. I think there's a little piece here that we don't want. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bigger. And see if I can zoom in on that. Kind of find Gmax's navigation tools a little crummy, but okay. Well, it looks like we'll probably be okay. I think that's good. Alright, so go to UVW map now, and we'll select the box. Everything 3 by 3. Okay. And let's go to Unwrap UVW. Edit. Let's move this. Let's move it up to like right here. Okay, X that off. Then if I select everything, so I do another mesh select here, and of course I want to check something. Yes, I do want to continue. Okay. Go back now. I was trying to remember which one I had selected before these faces. So it's that one. Okay, I'm going to select all of these. Okay. And then, if you do just an unwrap UVW, you should see all of your faces in the map there. And so that's why sometimes you want to remember where you put things, so and then of course you can adjust them again like this. So that's a good way to kind of get things in one sheet here. I'm going to go ahead and snip this with the other thing here now. So we'll do something like that. Save as 8. I just want to replace the last one. Okay. So we have that. Save snip as blah blah blah. No, because we did save it. I think. Let me just make sure. Yes, we did. Okay. No. So let's go to my desktop here. Get GIMP opened up. I want to open my map here, in progress of course already, and then go File, Open as Layers. Let's do open our image that we snipped here, and so you can see have our image. So let's do a path tool. Take the path tool. We'll click just like that. Okay. Zoom in. Okay, get it lined up. I've been doing everything on the outside edge of the line. So I'll do the same with this. Just kind of line it up, you know, as close as you can, but I don't, you know, so that it looks good. Okay. Hold down Shift, I can scroll left and right. Okay. And then set this one more or less around top of that circle. Okay. Now we have our path. We can go select from path. So we go select from path. That's Shift V. Looks like by default on GIMP. Okay, and so that turns our path into selection. As long as you have these two, the first and last point pretty close together, they'll merge when you select. In fact, they'll always select like that, I think. Maybe. Okay. I haven't tried it any other way, just like that, so I don't want to know. Let's get a new color. I just do something random. What the heck, we'll do something. The greens. Okay. I'm just looking for a random color here. I have a new layer going. I'm just going to fill that in. Okay. And then we can do the same thing for this object here. This map. If we just click at these corners, and then back to the finish line, and again just position these where they need to go. Get that one on the corner there, and keep moving over. Look at this one right there. This is going to be a little tedious. Probably isn't quite as tedious as trying to map it in Gmax. It's actually probably easier, but still a little time consuming, but it's not bad. Okay. Now we'll again do select from path and then fill it in with a random color, so we'll kind of mess with things here. And then, whoops, need to do a new layer. Always a good idea. And then one thing I've been doing, let me delete this layer here because we don't need it anymore. One thing I've been doing is going to layer with the layer activated and the shape, make sure it's selected. Just say layer, crop to selection. So the layer is only the size of this shape. Do the same thing for this one. Of course we need to select it first, so we'll take the fuzzy tool and say select that, and then say layer, make sure we're on that layer, and say crop to selection. Okay. Then you need to position these. Fairly simple. One thing you need to do actually first is, let me go ahead and rotate this layer. Transform, we'll rotate it 90 degrees. Is scale it. Now, this, we know about how large the door is. This should be slightly less tall as the door. So, if we scale this, in fact, let me look in Sketchup just to make sure. Okay. Well, maybe about the same height as the door, because we're looking at this piece, comparing it to door texture here. It's probably pretty close. So that's all you want. You want just a pretty close guesstimate, so that there we go. That's full screen now. I had a box red line selected around this thing. Anyways, it's a recorder. Anyhow, so if we set the height to 500, it should be about right. Okay, and I've been My mouse is flickering. I think that's from the recorder. If I don't know why that is. Anyhow, if I just I like to separate everything with guides, so I'm doing that. We'll do something like that, and just move this layer into place. This, well, we know this has to be, well, let's see here. It probably needs to be maybe 400 width-wise or so. So we'll do layer, scale layer. Let's set the width to 400. Okay. We can move that somewhere, kind of keeping these odd shapes together. In fact, what I could do is layer transform. Let's see what I want to do here. Okay, and then layer transform, flip vertically, and we could probably fit that in pretty well right there. This kind of fit in like a puzzle. So let's get a guide down here so we can snap it nice into place here accurately. And we'll put one on this edge of this right here. Okay. And maybe another one right here. Okay. And so that's pretty much it, how you go about it. Let's go ahead and save this. And one thing I might do for these cylindrical things is I might just for however my Facebook page, whoops. I might cut that out. So, you know, you have, I think there's like 18 faces here. You might, depending on how you want texture, if you want like darker shading here, well, I did that again. Well, then you might go ahead and duplicate this layer and, you know, do it however many times you need. At the moment, I'm just leaving it like that. But yeah, so if you want like some shading on the inside, keep clicking on the wrong one here. Then you have to make it dark to make it darker on this side and lighter out here. Then you'd have to have more, quote, more of those faces. So you just duplicate that layer for as many times as you need it. Okay. So I'm going to show you real quick how this works. It's pretty obvious. Export it real quick. Keep going to my click on the Facebook page. Okay, browser, whatever. Let's go ahead and apply a texture to this. So the idea is just everything mapped, and that way it's all positioned, and then you can just focus on texturing. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this texture. I'm going to start out with this face. Okay. Texture, position. Let's see, where is our texture? Tell you what I forgot to do, I need to reload the texture, so I'll go to Edit, Browse, and just reopen it here. Okay, texture position. We should have it right there. I think that's it, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. So we need to look at how to get this positioned. We'll rotate it 180. Okay. If we rotate it another 90, let's see, where'd it go now? Okay, right there. Then if we flip left to right, and there we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our pins wherever they went. I'll just move the texture to this one here. Okay, so get the pins close into the area here. I don't know if this is going to come out in the video, but my mouse is just flickering. I think that has to be from the recorder, but it's kind of annoying. Okay, so we'll kind of get these. There should be some reference kind of lines that pop up here. So we'll make use of those. Okay. Pin this one to that corner. And there should be a line right there. There it is. And there should be another one coming across here. Okay. Almost tag it onto the geometry now. So let's click and drag. And that's pretty close. So now what we can do, we can just take the sample paint, select that face that we just textured, and then it should be, I would hope, let's see if I reverse this face, maybe sometimes that helps. There, you see how it just kind of continues from that now. I think I'm going to have to reverse this face and that face. Okay, so I can select the paint from this face now. Click it here, and that's as far as it's going to go. So, which is no problem really. We can just add more to this texture, just the extra little rectangle here we need to tag on. But that's basically how you get a pretty uniform map for your SketchUp objects. That's a method kind of an idea I came across not too long ago. It's really making things a lot easier as far as getting nice scale pieces for your texture map. So I hope that was useful.